411 Calisthenic Lifestyle Podcast, where we bring you tips and tricks to improving your calisthenic practice to get you faster results you deserve. 411 Calisthenic Lifestyle Podcast, where we bring you tips and tricks to improving your calisthenic practice to get you faster results you deserve. Hotep, I am that I am. Some call me Heru, your modern monk, your cannabis fitness strategist, back at it again with your 411 Calisthenic Lifestyle Podcast, bringing it to you 24/7, 7 days of the week with a special guest today, my brother,
Avery Dewitt.
Yes, sir. When we finally sitting him down to really politic about some things he's been passionate about, as well as myself. And we're going to have this is actually going to be a very powerful interview. We're going to be talking about intermittent fasting. We're going to be talking about the calisthenic lifestyle, the lifestyle in general, what the brother's actually based on. These are massage therapists, and we'll get more in detail with this. So this is very interesting. And he's a young brother, too. That's one of the things I do applaud the brother. I mean, you're a young brother, and you get it. That's one of the things. So we're going to jump right here into the interview. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what have inspired you into this particular type of lifestyle.
Interesting. Well, I'm Avery Dewitt. I'm originally from New Jersey, born and raised. I've been in Colorado now for coming up on 3 years.
Okay.
What brought me here actually is my massage journey. I was kind of finishing up massage school. My father had an opportunity to move here as well, so he took his things, came here, along with the rest of my family. Took my things, came here as well. So it originally started out as a massage therapy journey to come to the state of Colorado. But I've always been a calisthenics enthusiast. I've been doing it for a little over 6 or 7 years now.
7 years. Yeah. So what has influenced you into the massage? You know, that particular industry. Yeah.
It's funny that you asked that. I've always been into health and wellness growing up. I kind of grew up on the chubby side as a kid. Finally decided to make a change in about 7th grade. Started working out there, etc. Doing calisthenics, lifting weights, but I really started getting more in depth with calisthenics when I came across a group called Bartons. They originated out of New York, Harlem, New York, and that's what really drew me into the calisthenics field. And also I had an old football injury that prevented me from playing my last senior year of high school. So I took that energy and I turned it into calisthenics.
Okay. So
and as far as the massage therapy. My mother, at a certain point in time, she had carpal tunnel syndrome, and after her surgery, she still had a lot of complications, and naturally, I just used to massage her hands with no prior knowledge, and she was on her way. She felt better than ever before.
Oh, that's on point. Yeah, that reminds me a little bit of reflexology, something I had got certified in a few years ago.
Yes.
And they're trigger points.
Yes.
Basically,
absolutely.
What they used to call it, not power points, but
pressure points.
Pressure points. There it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of losing me a little bit, but yeah, that's interesting, and that makes a lot of sense, because then you start really getting down to the different modalities within the massage therapy.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm spreading right now. That's what I'm starting to pick up now. I'm starting to explore other modalities and see how my body responds and see how I connect with that modality and just go on from there.
Yeah, for sure. Now, tell me a little bit about your calisthenic journey. I mean, that's something. You got the build for it. I mean, and prior to some of the knowledge, where the background you came from,
yes.
New Jersey, and
likewise. Yeah, exactly. So I have a martial arts background, so I bring that into my calisthenics journey as well. It started pretty rough because I was fresh out of surgery. I had shoulder surgery. I tore my labrum in my right surgery.
Wow.
Excuse me, my right shoulder. So I had to. I basically built myself from the ground up. I couldn't do a push-up, couldn't do a pull-up, couldn't do a dip.
Wow.
So I remember July 24th, 2010. The day I got into physical therapy, I went straight to the park because that's just all I wanted to do. Because I got motivated by all these videos on YouTube. So that's what I wanted to do. But it was a rough start. I'll tell you that much. I still was getting a lot of discomfort in my shoulder, and I didn't have too much strength, and it definitely was quite a journey, starting from not being able to do those basic movements like that, and then just gradually over time, as my body started healing, and I was getting more clearance from my doctor, my strength came back like that.
That's on point. So who has been some of your influences within the calisthenic world? I mean, you mentioned some of the YouTube channels.
Yes, within the community, there are just many people I still admire. Giant from Bartenders, people I originally started with. Zeth from Barbarians. Beast from Beast Mode. Juice. There's so many guys out there, but these are like the icons. Calisthenic King, Hannibal for King. All types of dudes, man, but they are like the pioneers of this calisthenics movement. And there's a whole bunch of other teams I can name, but those were kind of the main people who really inspired me when I first started.
That makes a lot of sense. So let's start journeying into more of this particular journey that actually kind of brought you into this intermittent fasting. Now, we talked about this on the podcast before, intermittent fasting. You can go check out my old podcast, episode 2, I think it is, episode 2 of intermittent fasting. And I talk about some of the results or the benefits I have seen within my particular journey. Now, Avery has been very unique because he's a younger gentleman, in his 20s, early 20s. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my early 40s, right? So the comparison is really not a comparison, but at the same time, here's an opportunity for those of you who are a lot younger can benefit what intermittent fasting has to offer. That's the cool thing, especially making it a lifestyle, according to what I'm starting to, So how long have you been working within this intermittent fasting?
So I've been on it for a little over 3 months now, just straight, every day. No break, a lot of people ask me, are you doing just 1 week and then going back to your regular routine another week? No, I've been doing this, strictly every day since January 24th of this year.
And look how fast time been flying, too.
It flies.
It was like I just met up with you on the point to talk about the situation, and you already been involved in making it a part of your lifestyle.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the benefits, because I know you're seeing a lot of the benefits with what is going on with your body, your physiology, your appearance, your physical appearance. So what got you interested in even journeying into this?
That's a great question. A lot of people have been asking me this question. So basically, for the past few months, I wasn't really feeling connected with myself. I felt at times I felt lost. I didn't know which direction I was heading in. A lot has been going on. I'm a new small business owner, so that's definitely been a life changer as well, trying to balance things off with that.
For sure.
But the main thing is I really wasn't feeling connected with myself and needed a clear head on what path that I'm heading down or I'm going to head down. It's very frustrating, and that's probably the main reason why I started doing this. But another reason is I wasn't really having the smoothest bowel movements as well. I'm like, something's got to be up with that. And this was going on for a couple months, and I wasn't liking that. And I don't go to the doctor too much, so I knew I could figure this out on my own.
For sure.
And I finally figured it out. Figured out, even though I wasn't eating that much, meat prior to this fasting, I still feel like that was affecting me somehow. So I knew that was one thing I really wanted to kind of cut out, or at least reduce greatly.
Good point.
But the main thing is really just being more in touch with myself and finding out who I am. In the future, I am, that's made for me, pretty much.
Yeah, no doubt. No, and that's one of the things I think we're missing within the fitness movement, the spiritual aspect.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? The connection back to the mother, or the connection back to the mother divine.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that part, but sure you'll end up asking me down the road.
Yeah, we'll definitely
definitely
we'll definitely come back to that. And I mean, it's so many avenues, there's so many approaches, especially when it comes down to calisthenics, or intermittent fasting.
Yes.
Even with the keto diet.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of similar. I mean, even though they incorporated a few meat options and this and that. But what the interesting thing is, and I'm not a meat basher either.
Right.
But my point is, like, we know meat is not really, especially if you're eating it every day.
Yes.
Is obviously doing some things to your body that are not needed.
Right.
That don't make no sense.
Exactly.
So,
and if anything, meat is not the same as it once was.
Exactly.
When it first was introduced into the human population.
Exactly.
So that's another thing.
Great point.
That's another thing that it really made me sit down and think. Do I really need it?
Yes. Because, I mean, we're talking about hormones. We're talking about all these different things that's involved in the meat process now.
Yes.
I mean, they're making chickens, and the chickens are growing, like, in a few days, and they're full grown. I mean, that's a little exaggeration, but that's exactly what's going on when you're looking at Meet Your Meat. All the Food Inc. and all these different other particular Super Size Me even proves some of them things.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like we don't really pay attention to what's actually in plain sight, in looking at nature too. That's one of the things nature has been showing it, like you were saying about, really coming together, getting an understanding of being one with yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really what I think intermittent fasting has given a lot of us, if you're actually paying attention to that.
And that's the hardest part, is really paying attention, but a lot of times people need that extra push.
Sure.
To help them get that clearer vision. I feel like with this intermittent fasting, I've been able to pay attention to a lot more signs that are being thrown at me, or that I'm noticing that I wasn't noticing before.
Sure. Now, I know, and they're not putting things in your mouth or anything like that, and I mean, I know you're not a big dairy eater either, so you're basically on a vegan side, practically.
Practically, because my original plan with the fast was, okay, I'm going to limit meat to just one day on the weekend or on the weekends. Sooner than I know, I just stopped losing the taste and the craving for it.
Sure.
It seemed like it was like automatic. It was like overnight, where I'm just like, okay, I don't feel like I need meat anymore. But my original plan was to limit it, just on the weekends. But sooner than I knew it, I just don't have the taste for it. I just feel like I don't need it.
And y'all heard that from Avery. Not Heru. That was from Avery. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. I mean, I've been practicing vegetarianism for 17 years. You see what I'm saying?
And it's
only
like 3 months into my journey.
Exactly.
And I'm picking this up.
And everything is timing too. Your body tells you what you need to be doing. Literally, it's just about paying attention to your body. That's where meditation come in. That's where reflection come in.
And that's another thing. I've been meditating a lot more during this process, and really, like I said, getting in closer touch with myself, and it's been going a long way.
Yeah, and I give you props. I mean, especially when you are a massage therapist, you got to realize you're working with other people's energy.
Absolutely.
So you definitely got to be on point. You got to be together.
And this is something I really didn't quite understand in school until I got deeper into this field, especially as I get deeper into doing body work and more myofascial work. I'm discovering that energy it's real.
Yes.
And, it can affect you in a good way, it can affect you in a bad way, but it's amazing, man. That's another topic, but that's been helping me along this journey as well, as the body work.
Yeah, indeed. And one of the things too, I think so let's get more into the physiology.
Yes.
The physiology of things. So what have you noticed from this particular lifestyle? Like, I know you was talking about vascularity, more clarity within the mind. Even your training has improved
Yes, it has. I'm telling you, that first week or two, man, my body was not having it. Remember, I was getting in contact with you, like, man, just give it another week, man. I was like, man, my workouts suck, man. I have no energy. That third week, man, I was blasting. I've been blasting through training ever since. The energy level it's just a whole nother type of energy. Yeah. I mean, I felt like I had a lot of energy before because I have youth on my side, but with this fasting, I feel like I can go on for days. Whether it's it's at my office for hours out of the day or just training twice a day, like I can power through some days on an empty stomach.
Yes. Yeah.
And that took some time for me to get used to.
Yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of that, how long did it take you to really get over, doing the fast, that hump? How many days you say roughly where you was like, okay, I'm good,
It took me those 2 weeks to really. Okay. So that was work training wise, but as far as getting any cravings, while probably the first couple of days is where I start getting a little bit of that hunger pain.
Okay.
But as I started drinking more water and more tea, etc., those pains either they went away or my mind ignored them.
Sure. And see, there we go again, and that's what's so beautiful about. See, people don't understand what meat is actually producing. It's producing a lot. These hormones and we're dealing with water too as well. The fluoride. We're talking about calcification. We're talking about all these toxins that's actually cluttering your body. And what meat does, meat sits in your stomach. It digests. It takes 6 hours to digest or more to digest. So that's why you feel that itis,
Yes.
You want to go to sleep right away after some cases, don't take me wrong, but these are the things that's actually been proven. I'm not saying this to just be, you can go check the cards. And on this, let me put this caveat out there.
Please.
The caveat is this: do your own research, please. I encourage you. Not just everything I'm saying is the truth and this and that, but at the same time, when you tend to look through it, you're going to be like, well, that brother had a great point there. My point is, do your own research. That's the key caveat here. Do your own research. And if you want information, I have it provided, vice versa. Brother Avery can provide you with some things too as well.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So just that caveat thrown out there. But my point is really putting it in perspective. That's one thing. And like I said, you're seeing these particular vascularity, energy levels that's off the chain because your thoughts are clear. You're meditating more, so you're able to think about the concepts or things you're working within your particular business too as well. You could be more clarified on what you want, what you want to do, how you want to move forward. So vascularity. Let's talk about some vascularity issues with our calisthenic brothers and sisters. You want to see results. Calisthenics, I think, is the foundational.
Completely agree.
So here's the question: what have you been noticing since you've been on your vascularity aspect?
See, like I said earlier in the interview, my main goal of this fast was to get a clearer sense of who I am in my mind. But when I notice in the mirror, I don't usually look in the mirror or take pictures of my body, but I've been getting really leaned and just vascular in areas I've never seen before. But that's just not my focus. But this is what has been going on with my body, and believe it or not, I am still the same weight I was before I started the fast. So my weight has not changed.
Great point.
But it's just that my body fat percentage has decreased greatly, and it's a great feeling, it's a great change, and it's great, man.
No, for real. It makes sense. And you're doing particular intermittent fasting. What is your regimen on intermittent fasting? Literally, what are you?
So my eating window when I first started for the first 2 to 3 months was I was fasting for 16 hours, and I would have an 8-hour eating window. So I would only eat between 4 p.m. and 12 a.m. So my last meal will be close to 12 a.m. I wake up 6 to 8 hours of sleep. The other remaining hours I'm up drinking my gallon tea, maybe a little coffee, but mostly water and tea. And then I don't eat again until 4 p.m. But now I have increased my fasting window to 18 hours.
Okay.
And only a 6-hour eating window.
Yeah.
So now my first meal is until 6 p.m. at night.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
like I said, took me another minor adjustment with my body to pick up on this change, but my energy is still through the roof right
no
now
doubt.
as we speak.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. And that's the one thing I do, experiencing particular fasting regimens and really pinpointing where that window may be too. That's one of the key elements,
Yes.
I think, within this particular approach.
Yes, and I feel like a lot of people, they get frustrated by that because they can't find their window.
Yes.
So that's why you have to experiment and do trial and error and see what works for you.
Agreed.
Luckily, on my first try, I found my actual eating window, and I've been sticking to it ever since until I decide I want to change it or not.
And what is your training regimen? What is your physical training regimen?
Right now,
how many
for the
days?
past couple of months, I'm working out about 4 to 5 days a week.
Okay.
This week I haven't worked this entire week. My body just felt like it needed it, but my energy is still through the roof.
Sure.
For the past couple of months, I've been focusing mostly on my strength, my muscle-up technique, endurance, weighted dips, weighted pull-ups, front lever, and I think that's it right now.
Okay.
I'm still mixing a little bit of
No, that makes sense.
here and there, but these are specific goals that I'm working on at the moment.
Sure.
And then once I get to those, I can move on to something else.
Yeah, and one of the things I want to put out there too, you got to realize, I mean, Avery's he's a fit brother. I mean, he's got everything going on for him right now, so he's maintaining. That's the one thing he's doing. He's maintaining. I will have some other examples of people who actually have, the training is not as intense and whatnot, and that's one of the things I want to give to people, let them know, especially with this 411 Calisthenic Lifestyle podcast, kind of give you a more open, and show you that we have range here as well. It's not that we're just bringing these perfect fit brothers and sisters to you, that's doing some things, because a lot of people want to question that too, but my point is, the focus is, what have you, what about anything like your physiology, like certain things like your hormones? Have you noticed anything on that level? Do you feel like because I know one of the things I have experienced, I feel like I'm back in high school.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that might be a crazy saying,
I know,
but that's the energy level I have now.
Yes.
It's like, man, I'm like, and I don't remind you, I'm doing a bigger window. I'm doing 20 hours.
Yes, he is.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm doing stuff, and I'm like, and I'm eating like one meal. I'm down to one meal a day.
Wow.
And I'm not snacking on anything else later on. I'm just eating that meal right then and there and just boom. But I'm just feeling, I'm waking up in the morning, I got super energy, So now I'm trying to take it. So what has been like some of those signs, maybe your vision, maybe your the good breath, no, just certain things you don't really think about, but actually there. Even like recovery.
Oh, that's definitely been a key in this fasting. And you warned me too. You watch, you won't be as sore as you usually are, and I've noticed that some days are a lot harder than others, and I'm recovering. It seems like in one day, and then I'm good to go the next day, and it's been an amazing change of how that lactic acid buildup you just flush it right out. Cause
big time.
I would think so. If you're drinking so much water, something has to give. So
exactly.
That's one of the main things I've noticed, and just really my main thing for me is really just my thoughts.
Okay.
And another thing is I've had that, even though I'm 23, but I've been having that kind of that high school feel, but it feels like it's more controlled.
I got
It's more of a controlled state of kind of that energy, and I've been noticing that I've been communicating a lot more with a lot more women, but it's not on I'm about to get this woman and get this woman. No, it's been more at a deeper connection level, because as you mentioned about getting back to the Mother Divine, I've been wanting to get access a female's mind a lot more and see what's going on and really appreciating their energy. It's really calming, just talking with a woman, no matter what topic it is. But we get into some pretty deep topics. But I feel like when you are around a lot of men at a certain period of time, then you have all these egos and pride starting getting in the way, and it's just not good to be around all the time. So I've been noticing that too as well. I've just been really just conversing with a lot of women, just seeing what's going on in their lives, and introducing myself and telling them about my fast so far, and just going from there.
No doubt. And what's cool about it, you making it a lifestyle.
Exactly.
I think that's the caveat. That's really where it comes down to, and that's where the 411 podcast, just throwing that out there, letting people get an understanding of what's going on here in the world. Another thing, how has it been, even with your particular training, 4 to 5 days, and you're balancing, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, how has that been kind of connecting? How you been connecting that within your particular lifestyle?
Basically, I've been able to prioritize a lot more.
There we go.
Compared to before. Now I'm really thinking about what I need to do now in order to be successful, next week, next month, etc. So I've really been doing my best to plan things a lot better, writing my goals on my wall, and just doing my best to take as much massive action as I can. If it's not going, even though it's not going to happen tomorrow or next week, it's going to happen somewhere down the road.
No doubt. So
that prioritization is very important.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been really sticking to me as well.
And your support system. Tell me a little bit about your support system. As far as I know, brother, I know you get plenty of, hey, what's going on with you? Is that okay?
I do get that.
Yeah, because I get it a lot too.
I'm sure you do, because it seems to be out of the norm for people. So it raises concern.
Sure.
But a lot of people are really just fascinated by the actual physique part of it. So people are very curious as to what I'm doing. Is it safe, or is it healthy? Well, you should go based on how you feel, honestly. Emotion, and just listening to your physiology, listening to any changes, and going from there.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, their minds are so stuck in one dimension of, you have to eat this way.
Extreme.
Yes, you have to do this way, or etc. So, and what we're doing is we're breaking those barriers.
Big time.
And going outside of it.
Big time. So that talks about a little bit, you just put in to the point, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It's a certain discipline. It's a mindset. It's it's definitely certain determination. It's many a words we can use, that actually kind of, now in your background you played football, right? You played football, and what other sport?
Martial arts, a little bit of lacrosse.
Lacrosse, okay.
Mostly those three.
Yeah, what is some of your philosophy behind that? As far as you think the team-orientated organization team causes, not causes, but orchestrates more competitiveness, more competing, more interaction, more cooperation.
Well, it does, but I really give a lot of my principles and my values from martial arts. A lot of that has carried over into my adult life. I didn't quite understand much as a kid coming up. I started at 5 years old.
Okay.
A lot of the things that were being taught us, I just didn't quite understand. I'm a young kid, but as I kind of drifted away from the physical part of martial arts, the mental part and the soul has really been playing a huge key in my life. And in particular, this fasting with the discipline and sticking to this, being true to myself, being honest with myself. So the martial arts aspect is starting to come a lot more into my adult life.
Indeed. That's a good point. Great point. Yeah, and especially with martial arts, I have had a interest in that long time ago, had trained, Shudokan, whatever. But at the same time, that was the element, the meditation, the discipline.
It all.
Yeah, yes. And that's a great point. That's a great point you bring. What are some of what would you say the most important point of intermittent fasting that stands out to you personally?
Really just finding yourself each and every day that you're given, being thankful for the life you've been given when you wake up, because you really can lose it just like that.
Sure.
But really just getting in tune with yourself and being surrounded by the right people, putting that energy out there that you want to be surrounded by the right people, and eventually, it will happen.
Attract. Yeah, like attracts. Yeah, you're right about that.
The laws of attraction.
Yeah, for sure. And that brings me to a point where I was like thinking about how that's when we're really starting. I mean, you're talking about the foundation, so we're getting into the Mother Divine a little bit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? How Mother Earth in itself shows us.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? We're just not paying attention because we're so cityfied.
Exactly.
You see where I'm coming from? We so in the cities, I mean, we have to get back to our nature, or get back to the reality, and that's what's so...
That ancestral energy.
Yes, yes.
So I've been really striving to be as vibrant and electrical as I can, because what we're really doing is eating the way our ancestors did.
Come on.
And that's what we're doing.
Come on.
And I feel like that's a big important part of this fasting as well.
For sure.
Really getting back to the roots of who we truly are.
And fasting is key. I mean, you could do the research on fasting. I mean, all the religions do it. I mean, but at the same time, it's like when you really start controlling it, that's when everything starts to come together.
Exactly.
And that's what's cool about even with the warrior diet, the China study,
yes.
And kind of pinpointing some questions to ask. Okay, is this really what we need to be doing? We have to have, 3 to 6 meals a day. Think about some of these bodybuilders and stuff. You eating that much, your metabolism gets faster and all that stuff, but then you're depleting, or you're taking away, or you're regenerating or degenerating your body, literally.
And it takes a lot of energy to digest.
Whew.
That really has been standing out to me. It takes a lot of energy to do that.
Big time.
And to keep piling throughout the day, eventually something has to give.
No doubt, no doubt. That's why we're aging so quick. That's part of aging. And that's another thing I was saying. We're so addicted to food, it's not the food, it's the sugar in the food. That's what we're addicted to.
Or any other chemicals.
Yeah, exactly. The fluoride aspect and all these other different soy and everything, wheat and everything, milk is in everything. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at a label without wheat and nut and soy with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like, that's the challenge in itself. Not saying everybody can take that gluten-free and all this other stuff they've been coming up with, inventing, and who came up, this is the thing I'm looking for right now, who came up with sugar? Literally, who came up and said this is an addiction? We can get people on this and make everything based on it.
Yeah, that's what we need to find out.
Exactly.
There are some natural sugar sources that are just, there's nothing completely wrong with it. I don't understand how
they're going that route.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, how they going that route.
So many other better natural sugar
sources. Stevia is one of those opportunities, or sugars. But the problem is that they're commercializing everything, like you was splitting. I can't even say the term. You hit me up, and I told you to go to Sprouts.
Oh, spirulina?
Spirulina, yeah, I'd kill the word. But spirulina, even with that, come to find out, is not the powder, it's the seeds you need to be eating or putting in your water. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they're taking all the value away from everything.
But it's so rare to find things like this. Very
rare. That's why we have to get into growing our own herbs.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? We have to get in. That's the route we have to go. Because think about it. Ancestors didn't go to no store to buy stuff. And now we're buying every week. Every day, almost every day of the week these days. Instead of like back in the day in the 80s when I was growing up, I mean, my parents didn't, they probably bought once a month. They had everything they needed, and that was it for that month. You feel what I'm saying? Then they going back, and it was rarely we went to the store with them, too, as a child, So, I mean, these are things I was thinking, that we have to kind of question, because we've been just conditioned to think this is what we need to do.
Exactly.
This is how we need to do it. And who's been our teachers? Think about that. Who's been your teachers? You see what I'm saying? most of the time your teacher don't look like you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously they're giving you things that really don't really. I mean, we're getting these authorities figures that's telling us these things, and then we're going about doing them, and then we're wondering why we're getting these different responses or different reactions. You know. So yeah, that's and so will we be honored to feature some of your pictures?
Oh,
sure. Kind of show people the before and after.
Oh, absolutely. I'll make sure to.
Yeah, some things, and we'll take a picture, whatever, and kind of get some things in perspective so people can kind of have a visual. Because I was going to post this on YouTube as well, and let people have access to that, plus the podcast, and they have, if they want to do the iTunes or whatever the case may be. But what is some of face clarity? What are some of the things?
Oh, for sure. My face has been really, really clear as well. My skin feels a lot smoother.
Okay.
I've definitely noticed that as well, for sure. Like I said, the breath.
Yeah.
Breath is a lot fresher.
Yeah. So, it's amazing. Like when I stopped eating meat, my feet cleared up.
Oh wow.
It's like certain things with my feet was clearing up.
The main thing for me was just my bowels. Like my bowel movements are just a lot smoother, more solid. I'm like, wow, that's a big
And that's
change.
funny too, because you don't even eat dairy too.
No, I'm not.
So,
I am not
whatever,
taking dairy.
Yeah, whatever was in the meat obviously was kind of doing something to you, and
then just increasing the beans, legumes intake, and vegetables.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about your food intake. What are you actually eating?
My actual foundation is mostly beans, only certain nuts like sesame, walnuts, Brazil nuts, a little bit of almonds, cashews, a lot of vegetables, a lot of green, a lot of kale, dandelion greens, onions, mushrooms. Let's see, sweet potatoes, basmati rice, a lot of avocado, at least one avocado a day. Believe it or not too many fruits, because as I was doing my research as well, a lot of fruits that we have are hybrid. So there's only a certain amount of fruits that I will eat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's really
apples,
coming down.
Pears, there's not a little bit of berries, but I don't eat kind of oranges and the pineapples anymore. And I've been doing my research, and a lot of fruits we are eating are hybrid. So I kind of been staying away from them. But my foundation is really the beans, the nuts, and the greens.
How you prepping those? How you prepping the food?
Everything is either in the oven or on the stove top. I'm not using the microwave.
Yes, sir.
A lot of research been coming out with killing our food, so.
Yes, sir. Forget that bird.
I seen it fly over
Yeah. But my point is, that's cool. You prepping, so you're doing steaming.
Steaming.
Okay.
Nothing in the microwave. And when I do reheat my food, it's usually how I cook the food.
I feel
I've been really avoiding using the microwave.
For sure. Matter of fact, the recent few days, I've been eating it cold. Like my beans and stuff, eating it cold.
How's that been working for you?
That's been great. It's been great. As long as the food is prepped, you're good.
You're good to go.
You're good to go, And one of the things that's been going around in the vegetarian, vegan community is stop eating the raw veggies. Raw, actually steam them. Steam them of some sort, or, kind of pre-cook, or, heat them up a little bit, or
so
sun heat them up. So you still get the enzymes and whatnot in them. So, and that's questionable. Like I said, do your own research on that. But at the same time, it's like some things you got to really pay attention to. Because, one thing about prepping food, this is the one thing, too. As you're making this food, you feel more connected with it, too.
Absolutely. It's a lot more mindful eating.
Yes.
You really do appreciate what you put in your body.
Indeed.
Going through these longer periods to what you're used to eating.
And this brother's super busy. He's a business owner. He's a massage therapist. So, it's a lot of, schedule this, schedule that, boom, boom, boom. Now I got to do the business and advertising.
My stomach is empty either when I work out or when I'm massaging.
Sure.
Nothing is in my system until either at post-workout or at my office.
And the funny thing, have you noticed? You don't notice a lot of growling and.
Exactly. My stomach used to, when I first started, my stomach used to do it a lot because it was like, wait a minute, I'm not used to being empty, but after that third week, I stopped getting that growling in my stomach. Now my stomach is pretty accustomed to being empty. for X amount of time.
Exactly. And this kind of remind me of the brother Amin Ra. I don't know if you've seen that video with the brother who eat 1 meal a day.
Oh, no.
No, okay, I'll send that to you. But
please
it's definitely very informative because he eats 1 meal a day, strictly vegan.
Wow.
You know, and he's got a Lexor, something he's got that's actually having him where brother's chiseled.
Wow.
He's got a few. He's a vegan and he's actually one of the natural bodybuilder, but he's actually he's got the world record. And deadlifting and something else. I think deadlifting and something else. Small brother, but chiseled. I mean, brother is chiseled. I mean, I think he ain't a small brother, but he's about 6'1" or something. You know, and he's living this particular lifestyle too. Very peaceful, in the woods, doing his thing. You know, but my point is, the lifestyle can be done regardless of how busy you are. I mean, there's plenty of examples out there. Jim Sapati. He's another bodybuilder who's actually been doing intermittent fasting for years. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right, yeah. So, I mean, and that's a big brother right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that brother weigh about, what, 235 maybe?
I think, about 235,
225 around that area.
Ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, those are examples, and, I mean, so it can be done. That's what I'm... You know, but it is a discipline. It's a discipline.
It's a mindset. Really,
exactly.
It's more mind than anything.
You know.
Anything, all of it is mind. Really, it's just mind over everything else.
You know. So let's end it with the Mother Divine, and then we're going to end it with what actually you want the people here, the audience, to take from your interview or take from you. Was something, you know, that... So... Let's talk a little bit about the Mother Divine, how she has been, and I don't mean this on a physical manifestation. I mean this on a spiritual level. You know, the unseen or the mystery or whatever you want to see. Because the key thing, Mother Earth shows us with, you know, the Mother Divine is showing us with everything. I mean, the birth. Think about the birth cycle. When the mother birthed a child, she's the only one who can do that.
The woman really is the gateway to life.
Come on.
And for you to actually sit down and process that, you would think that we would respect our women a lot more in today's society.
Patriarch.
You really think?
Patriotic.
You really think we would put women on a higher pedestal?
Yeah.
When you sit down and really think that the woman is really the gateway to all humanity.
Come on.
It's a lot, man. It's really powerful.
Yeah, and this actually could be a long subject matter, but we're just briefly kind of...
Yeah, this is going off of what I've been experiencing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's really the caveat I wanted to kind of give.
Like I mentioned earlier, it's not like I was, I'm trying to talk to a bunch of women for my own personal gain. No, it really is a calming effect and therapeutic effect.
There it is.
Being in the presence of a woman and really having her talk about, what's going on in her mind, etc.
Because they are connected. They just have forgotten. They've been taught by a man to take them out of their element. That's what's been going on.
How can you sit there and reverse engineer someone like that? There's no way.
Come on.
We really just have to get back to our women and respect our women and cherish our women.
Exactly.
And take it from there.
No doubt. So on that end point, what would you like for tell us a little bit about how can they contact you? How can they get in contact with you?
I have a personal phone. You can contact me via phone or text number.
If you like.
The number is 856-520-7002. You can also contact me via email at averydewitt@gmail.com. I use social media, so my Facebook is my first and last name.
Okay.
And also, you can find me on Instagram as chosen_Avery.
Okay, yeah. So, what would you like to leave the audience with? Your thoughts. Anything I haven't asked you. What would you like to,
So to close this, I would say anyone who wants to experience fasting or do this fasting, really sit and think about why you're doing it. I mean, yes, we all want to look good and have more energy, etc. But I think we could all use some type of fasting on a spiritual level, to really sit and think about what's going on within your body and what's going on in your environment around you, and really taking the time out to go through a fast and see what it's like to, see how all these different emotions arise and your subconscious mind arises, and whatever other connection you have with yourself or the people around you. Just really find that. Yeah. Don't do it because someone is forcing you to do it or is telling you to do it. Really do it for you.
Yes.
Really take the time and feel it and feel like you should do it.
No, that's a great point.
And go from there.
Yeah, great point. So intermittent fasting is really a scheduled eating window.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put it out there like that. I mean, you just scheduling your time when you eat, period.
That's it, period. That's the best. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
There's no gimmicks.
And we hear the KISS philosophy. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. You see what I'm saying? So we definitely utilizing that opportunity. I want to appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Highly appreciate you coming out.
Thank you very much
the
for
time.
having me.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And thank you again for being on the podcast. And we're going to end it with like that, brothers and sisters. Until next time, tune in. Hotep.